Blackpink, one of the most talked about groups in the world, not only for their amazing stage shows and incredible concerts, but also for their poor stage performances, careless music videos, and private lives. Influencers, celebrities, and idols, everyone seems to have made Blackpink their target. But what is really going on? Today, let's talk about this. In 2025, Blackpink is still one of the biggest girl groups in the world. Their fame has reached such a level that every stage of their tour becomes news. Concert clips are watched millions of times, and even the smallest rumor about the members' private lives can shake the entire social media world. However, in recent months, as Blackpink's Deadline World Tour has progressed, the group has been in the spotlight not only for praise but also for heavy criticism. Fans have pointed out many issues, from technical problems during concerts, chaotic seating arrangements, and lackluster stage energy to questionable fashion choices. In particular, Jennie's long-standing lazy dancing criticism has resurfaced. Lisa's stage outfits and private life have been hot topics, and Jisoo's designer looks have been labeled ugly. But the criticism didn't stop at the stage. Harsh reviews from the international press, mocking posts from influencers, and even subtle digs from other artists have put immense pressure on Blackpink. In short, Blackpink is currently standing at the peak of their success while also facing one of the most turbulent periods of their career. So today, we will be asking, why is Blackpink receiving so much backlash lately? When it comes to the most controversial and talked about member of Blackpink, most people think of Jennie. Especially when it comes to her stage performances, there's been an ongoing debate for years, the so-called lazy dancing claims. This label has almost become inseparable from her name. The truth is, these criticisms aren't new. Ever since their debut years, Jennie has been criticized for sometimes putting less energy into performances, executing moves more carelessly than the other members, or skipping certain parts of the choreography. Although these discussions seem to fade a little in recent years, they flared up again with the start of the Deadline tour. Many fans said Jennie appeared to be putting in less effort on stage compared to the other members. Videos circulating online highlighted moments where she skipped parts of the choreography, stood still, or limited herself to simply waving at the audience. While some viewers accused Jennie of being unprofessional, her fans immediately defended her. According to them, the things Jennie experienced on stage were just momentary issues. Fireworks, dust getting into her eyes, her in-ear monitor falling out, wardrobe malfunctions. In short, the kind of accidents that can happen at any concert. But people share just 2 to 3 minutes of these moments from a 2-hour concert and use them to accuse Jennie and the other girls of not performing well enough. This lazy dancing debate about Jennie wasn't just limited to fan discussions. One of the world's biggest media outlets, Billboard, even shared a video about it. Billboard prepared a video where they did street interviews asking people about viral performances by female artists. In those interviews, Jennie's concert performance was also brought up. Randomly selected people were shown these clips of Jennie on stage and asked, "What do you think about this idol?" People then made negative comments such as, "She's been like this for years and she's giving us nothing." As soon as this video was released, Blinks practically erupted at Billboard. They argued that the interview was fueling the hate campaign Jennie had been struggling with for years. On social media, fans accused Billboard of spreading hate speech, humiliating a female artist, and violating journalistic standards, and honestly, I think they were right. Targeting an artist like this is not aligned with journalistic ethics. If you really want to do journalism, you should sit down and watch the entire concert footage and calculate exactly how long Jennie stood still or moved less during her 2-hour performance. If she was like that for the whole show, then fine, you have a point. But creating an entire narrative based on a 2 or 3 minute clip is, in my opinion, very unfair. After the video, the backlash grew so strong that Billboard ended up taking it down shortly after. The person who conducted the interview then posted a short statement on their own account. "I don't work at Billboard. That day I was hired to do street interviews with people about viral social media music moments. My job was to capture people's reactions to these viral moments/discussions. Jennie, keep shining, queen. Love to you." Still, fans did not find this explanation satisfying because Billboard itself never issued an official apology. The controversies surrounding Jennie weren't limited to media outlets. Powerful figures on social media, in other words, influencers, also got involved. In particular, a video shared by Hailey Bailey, an influencer with more than 15 million followers, made the situation even worse. On TikTok, Hailey posted a video titled Blackpink Choreography in 2025. In the clip, the dances of Blackpink members were mocked, while Katseye was praised. In other words, it was essentially a comparison video. Although Hailey added a note saying, "Blinks, don't attack me. I really love Blackpink, but I just miss their old choreographies," fans found this statement hypocritical, because not long ago, this same Hailey had attended Jennie's stage at Coachella, met Lisa, and expressed her admiration for them, and now she was posting a mocking video that belittled the group. Personally, I don't think it was appropriate for her to compare Blackpink with Katseye like that, especially after meeting the girls in person and being seen interacting so warmly with them. But Hailey Bailey wasn't the only one comparing the group to Katseye. Hollywood's young star Sophia Wiley also made headlines with an interview she gave on the MTV red carpet. When the reporter asked her about her favorite artists, she said she loved Katseye. She described their performances as really good and said she was especially impressed by their Lollapalooza stage. Up to this point, everything seemed normal, but then Sophia continued her words by mentioning Blackpink. "I still love you guys, but right now you're not giving us anything." Things got even more complicated after that, because once MTV shared this interview on Instagram, it was noticed that Katseye member Sophia had liked the post. Sophia had expressed her admiration for Blackpink many times in the past and even said she was a blink. That's why I personally don't think her like was malicious. She may have liked it simply because they were spoken of positively, or maybe she tapped it by accident. But of course, Sophia still received a lot of backlash from Blackpink fans after this. Another wave of criticism came from the Times. But before that, I want to say a few things about the Wembley concert. The girls performed 2 nights in a row at Wembley Stadium. These concerts became historic moments in K-pop because Wembley is one of the biggest stages in the world and has only ever opened its doors to a very small number of girl groups. After the Spice Girls, Blackpink became the second girl group ever to perform there. Over the course of 2 days, approximately 148,000 fans filled the stadium. This was recorded not only as a milestone for Blackpink, but also as a turning point in K-pop history. Because of this, the British media covered the event extensively. BBC declared Blackpink as the biggest girl group in the world, while The Guardian described the concert as explosive and full of high-energy performances. The Standard called the shows dynamic, polished, and joyful. Platforms like United by Pop highlighted the deep emotional connection Blinks experienced during performances of Stay and Lovesick Girls. But not everyone agreed. The Times published a much harsher review. The paper's writer gave Blackpink only 3 stars and said the concerts felt inconsistent. In particular, Lisa was singled out, with the reviewer saying the only member who genuinely seemed eager on stage was Lisa. The article added that Jennie started off slow, Rosé didn't quite meet expectations, and Jisoo was seen as the most forgettable member. The reactions and criticisms weren't only about the girls' stage performances. Throughout this world tour, their outfits were also a major talking point. Lisa's stage costumes were criticized by many for being too revealing. Jisoo's outfit in particular went viral on social media. Many people said that the Tommy Hilfiger dress she wore looked awful and was unflattering for such a major concert. Jennie also faced backlash for a moment when she unbuttoned her shirt on stage. Meanwhile, one of the things that caught my attention recently was something Choe, a former member of AOA, said in an interview. Appearing on a YouTube program, Choe explained why she left her idol career. In the video, she said, "When Blackpink and Twice debuted, I felt like it was the end of the road for me. No matter how hard I worked, I realized I couldn't give any more. I wanted to leave while I was still at the top. I was honestly shocked when I watched this. Because as you know, in this industry, people don't usually praise others in this way. But Choe spoke very sincerely and I really appreciated that." And while we're at it, I want to share something about a topic many of you have been curious about. When will Blackpink release a new album? YG recently made a statement on this matter. You may remember that YG Entertainment had previously announced Blackpink would make a comeback in 2025, but the process has been unfolding with a lot of uncertainty. Only a single titled Jump was released. Fans thought this was a sign of a big upcoming album, but Young Hyun-suk's recent statement disappointed everyone. Young said, "The album is not finished yet. We hope it will be ready by November and it will be a mini album." Unfortunately, after all these years, instead of a full album, the girls will be releasing a mini album. And even that may or may not be ready by November. Fans blamed YG Entertainment for all of this. The delay of the new album, the announcement that it would only be a mini album, the security issues during the tour, the chaos in seating arrangements, and the technical problems. All of these made fans very angry. Fans claim that Blackpink's success has been sustained solely by the members' own efforts, while YG has only been trying to profit from their fame. Another factor that upset fans was that in YG's latest statement about future schedules, there was more focus on Baby Monster and Treasure than on Blackpink. Blackpink is now approaching their 10th anniversary as a group. In K-pop, surviving this long at the same level of popularity is a huge achievement, but at the same time, I think it's incredibly difficult. Because they are no longer the new, fresh, energetic group they were during their debut years, they are now global superstars. And with that position comes the responsibility to deliver more professionalism on stage, higher energy, and more creative content. However, Blinks feel that the group has been repeating themselves for a while now, the same songs, the same choreographies, the same stage setups. The fact that the new album still hasn't been released only makes this feeling stronger. But there are also some criticisms about the girls that I personally don't agree with. For example, the claim that they don't have enough energy on stage. I don't think it's fair to make such a conclusion based on 10 to 20-second clips circulating on social media. Besides, Blackpink can still pack stadiums to the brim, tickets sell out within minutes, and global media continue to put them on the front page. In other words, their popularity and influence are still at the top. Of course, this isn't the end of the story, but we will continue to follow and talk about it. So don't forget to follow me to keep up with the latest updates. I love you all so much. Goodbye.